I spent a whole year traveling nearly 100,000 kilometers to get here. I left the Chu Kingdom and came to Wanxiang City in the Zhao Kingdom. I'm pretty sure my old family can't find me this far away. My name is Lin Fan. In my past life, I was an orphan on a place called Blue Star. I died saving someone and woke up reborn in this world. I've lived here for 31 years now, but I only remembered my old life about a year ago. Back in the Chu Kingdom, I belonged to the Lin family, one of the four most powerful families in the country. They've been around for over 5,000 years. More than 1 million people share the Lin blood, and with married-in members, there are over 5 million. Every single one is a martial artist. The strongest ancestor sits at the peak of something called the Purple Mansion realm and can live up to 800 years. As for me, I'm just at blood exchange, the highest level of basic body training. Nothing special compared to my family. My parents died on a mission when I was little, so I grew up alone. No friends, no one close. The family has a rule. If you turn 30 and still haven't broken through to the next major realm, you either stay and work for the family or leave and start your own branch. If you leave, they give you 100 yellow grade spirit stones and wish you luck. After that, you're on your own. Most people stay. It's safer, but I chose to leave. The reason is simple. When my old memories came back a year ago, I also got something. A system called the Strongest Family System. It can't activate unless I become a family head. And there was no way I'd ever become head of the Lin family. Too many powerful people already fighting over that seat. If I even mentioned wanting it, I'd be dead before I finished the sentence. So I packed up, took my 100 spirit stones, and left. I traveled all the way to the Zhao Kingdom because it was the closest country I could actually reach alive. This world is huge. The Chu Kingdom alone covers about 2 billion square kilometers. I've been watching Wanxiang City for a few days and decided it's a good place to settle down. Today I found a trading office and bought a 3-courtyard mansion for 500 taels of gold. Not bad. Now I'm sitting in my new courtyard, and I finally call out to the system in my mind. I've settled here. Does this make me a family head now? I know it sounds silly, a family of one. But when I feel the system starting to activate, I let out a long breath. This is where everything begins. The system finished activating, and I heard there was a beginner's gift pack waiting for me. I was excited, but I held back. First, I wanted to understand what the system could actually do. It turned out to have 4 main functions. That might not sound like much, but for me, it was like growing wings. I also checked my status panel. Honestly, it was pretty ordinary. My talent was only top yellow grade, which meant the best I could ever reach on my own was the Chi Si realm, and even that would take a mountain of resources. Before getting the system, just reaching the opening origin realm would have been my ceiling. That would give me about 300 years of life. For someone like me who dreams of living forever, that's nothing. But now, with the system, everything feels different. I've spent the last few days learning about Wanxiang City. The strongest person here is the city lord, who's at the late Kaiyuan stage. His wife is at the early Kaiyuan stage. Below them are 3 big families, Chun, Li, and Wang. The Chun and Li families each have an elder at mid-Kaiyuan, and the Wang family has one at early Kaiyuan. Then there are 8 smaller families with fighters at the peak of body tempering, same level as me. Below them are dozens of even weaker families. The city controls an area of over 5 million square kilometers with around 200 million people. Out of all those people, less than 1 million are martial artists, and most of them are still at the basic stages. Technically, anyone in this world can train. But the problem is that training methods are locked away by powerful families and sects. Ordinary people can't get their hands on them. Some sects take in students, but they're picky about talent, and the roads to reach them are long and crawling with bandits, wild beasts, and dark cultivators. Most regular folks just stay home to stay alive. My plan is simple. Find a few companions, keep my head down, and grow quietly. No point drawing attention before I have real strength. Now, the moment I'd been waiting for. I opened the beginner's gift pack. The system was generous. Really generous. The pills I got could train 10 people all the way to the Chi Si stage. To put that in perspective, a Chi Si realm cultivator could serve as an elder in my old Lin family back in Chu. That's serious power. But what excited me most was something called a personal world. I stepped inside with just a thought. One blink and I was there. It wasn't the beautiful paradise I'd imagined. Just endless dark soil and a big lake. No plants, no life at all. But the spiritual energy was incredible, more than 10 times stronger than Wanxiang City, even richer than back at the Lin family estate. Training here would be twice as fast with half the effort. I smiled to myself. This is going to work. I asked the system to explain my personal world. Turns out, the spiritual energy here is so rich that even a pig could eventually become a spirit beast if raised in this place. That's incredible. But then a worry hit me. If I bring people into this world, how do I stop them from telling others about it? If word got out, I'd have to hide in here forever. So I asked the system, and it told me about something called the family sacred tree. I'd heard the name before, but never paid attention. Now it seemed like the answer to keeping my secret safe. As the master of this world, I can control almost everything. Move anywhere in an instant, reshape the land, do whatever I want. The only thing I can't do is create life from nothing. I spotted an island in the middle of the lake, right at the center of everything. It was big, about 10 square kilometers. When I got there, I found a spiritual pool about 10 acres wide. I took a sip of the water and felt a rush through my whole body, like I was on the edge of a breakthrough. This pool must be the source of all the energy in this world. I planted the family sacred tree right next to the pool. It was about 10 feet tall, and after I watered it with the pool water, it started glowing with life force. It looked beautiful, but I couldn't tell what made it special just by looking. So I asked the system to explain. What I read left me stunned. Eternal life, it wasn't just a dream anymore. But I told myself to stay calm. I'm still weak. I need to grow quietly, avoid picking fights, and only deal with trouble if it comes to me. Then I learned my exclusive technique, the heaven and earth unity art. The system taught it to me right away. 1 day passed in the outside world, but 5 days went by inside my personal world. That's when I finished switching to the new method. The results were amazing. My strength jumped up a whole level, pushing me into the origin opening stage. My talent even improved from top yellow grade to lower mystic grade. With my current power, I could easily beat 100 of my old selves. At the origin opening stage, you open your dantian and start absorbing spiritual energy. Your lifespan doubles to 300 years. Inside my dantian, a space about a mile wide had already formed and filled with energy. Now I just needed to expand it further to reach the Qi realm. I figured another day or two of stabilizing my cultivation would be enough. Then I could use the top-grade breaking mirror pill from my gift pack to break through. Qi realm experts are rare. Even Wanxiang City doesn't have a single one. Back in my old Lin family, reaching that level made you an elder. But honestly, what excited me the most was something simpler. At the Qi realm, you can fly. Over 10 times the speed of sound. More than 12,000 kilometers per hour. Faster than any superhero from my old world's movies. What man could resist the dream of flying? Now that my strength is the best in Wanxiang City, it's time to think about finding companions to start building my family. I asked the system if there were any special requirements for choosing a companion. I was worried it might demand someone with a divine physique or something impossible. Luckily, there were no special requirements. I'm just starting out, so I can't be too picky. Once I get stronger, better opportunities will come. My personal world had grown too. It's now 200 square kilometers. That's a lot of empty land going to waste. I made a mental note to fill it with spiritual herbs, fruits, and rice once things settle down. The time ratio is still 1 to 5, meaning 5 days pass inside for every 1 day outside. That's already pretty good. Then I asked the system about this world, and what I learned shocked me. The land of 100 nations, where I live now, with hundreds of kingdoms, some controlling tens of billions of square kilometers, is just a tiny corner of something called Qianzhou. And Qianzhou is only one of 9 regions in the eastern domain of a massive continent called Xinjiang. There's a mountain range 1,000,000 miles wide separating us from the rest. I'm basically living in the smallest backwater imaginable. This world is unbelievably huge. The system also explained all the cultivation levels and how talent is ranked. I won't go into every detail, but the main takeaway is clear. This world is far more dangerous than I thought. I need to be careful and grow step by step. After learning all that, I left my personal world and headed to a place called the 100 Flowers Pavilion. It's not what you might think. It's more like a matchmaking agency from my old world. The women there have been trained by the pavilion since childhood. The organization is spread across the entire land of 100 nations, and it's incredibly powerful. After learning about the size of this world, I suspect the pavilion might even be a major force across the whole Xintian continent. But that's just my guess, and either way, it's not something I can deal with right now. When I walked in, a brightly dressed woman named Xionyang greeted me with a big smile and asked if I was looking for a cultivation partner. I told her my surname was Lin, and that I wanted to find a cultivation partner and also hire a few attendants. Her eyes lit up when I mentioned attendants. Even the most ordinary girl at the pavilion costs 100 taels of gold, so hiring several is a big deal. For that kind of money, you could hire over 100 regular servants elsewhere. In this world, life is cheap. Wanxiang City alone has 200 million people, and the whole Zhao Kingdom has over 50 billion. But I'm not looking for regular servants. I need people I can train and trust, people who will become the foundation of my new family. In this world, ordinary people have it rough. Most wealth belongs to martial artists. When hard times come, families sell their children for a few pieces of silver just to get by. That's why a place like the 100 Flowers Pavilion exists. The pavilion is expensive for good reason. Even their most ordinary girls have yellow-grade lower-level talent and have reached the body refining stage. On top of that, they're trained in music, chess, calligraphy, and painting, skills that rival noble ladies. The pavilion spent a lot raising them, so the prices make sense. Xionyang laid out the pricing for me. A girl with yellow-grade lower-level talent costs 100 taels of gold. Mid-level yellow-grade is 500 taels. High-level yellow-grade jumps to 10 spirit stones, and top-level yellow-grade costs 100 spirit stones each. The prices climb fast because higher talent means a real chance of reaching the origin opening stage or beyond. I asked about profound grade talents, but Xionyang laughed a little. She said Wanxiang City is too small for that. Even the city lord's family would struggle to get one. Profound grade talents are traded only with profound grade spirit stones, and no one of that level lives in this branch. She said I could leave a deposit and have someone sent from the county's main pavilion, but they'd only come if they agreed. The pavilion never forces profound grade talents. They have their own freedom and are treated as the backbone of the organization. I told her not to bother with that. I don't want to reveal how many spirit stones I actually have. Right now I'm sitting on 1,000 profound grade and 100,000 yellow grade stones, but showing off wealth is a fast way to get killed. I asked for 5 top grade girls and 10 high grade ones. Xionyang was thrilled. That's a 600 spirit stone order, and her commission alone would be 6 stones. She hurried off and came back with dozens of young women. I have to be honest, it was like a garden full of flowers. Every one of them was beautiful in a way that went beyond looks. The presence of a cultivator is something ordinary people just can't match. She lined up 15 top-grade girls first, saying this branch only had that many. I looked them over carefully, trying to pick 5, but I couldn't decide. They were all stunning. So I said, I'll take them all. Xionyang's voice actually trembled. She'd never had a client like this. The big families in the city usually only bought 1 or 2 a year. As for the 10 high-grade girls, I told her to just pick them for me and send them to my house. I was afraid if I started choosing again, I'd end up buying every single one. I handed her a storage pouch with 1,600 spirit stones inside. She checked the count and smiled, so wide she could barely close her mouth. I gave her my address and left. I didn't want to stay any longer and draw more attention than I already had. After leaving the pavilion, I bought some daily supplies and had everything delivered to my new home. It wasn't long before Madame Xiao arrived with the girls. But when I counted, there were way more than 25. Turns out the pavilion master sent 50 extra as a gift, 30 with basic talent and 20 with mid-level talent. That's worth 15,000 taels of gold, though in spirit stones it's only about 15. I'd just spent 1,600, so it was a smart move on their part to keep me as a customer. I accepted the gift and thanked her. After Xionyang left, I could see the nervousness on all their faces. Their futures were in my hands now, and they had no idea what to expect. I got straight to the point. I told them my name is Lin Fan, head of the Lin family. Right now, I'm the only member. I need talented people to help me rebuild and continue the family line. From today, they all belong to the Lin family. When they heard that, they actually relaxed. It was far better than what they'd been afraid of. I could tell they were thinking it through. I had wealth, I was young, and I wasn't bad looking. They figured they could do a lot worse. But the girls with lower talent started worrying that I'd think they weren't good enough. I saw it on their faces right away, so I told them not to worry. Everyone in the family would learn cultivation techniques. Real ones, not the incomplete methods the pavilion had taught them. When they heard that, their worry turned to excitement. One girl even got bold enough to ask what my cultivation level was. I gave her a look. Asking about someone's strength is usually forbidden in this world. She went pale, but I let it slide. Since they're part of my family now, I figured they should know. I told them I was at the peak of the Kaiyuan realm, stronger than the city lord himself. The room went quiet for a moment, then filled with admiration. In a world where strength is everything, knowing their new master was the strongest person in the city made them feel safe. I could sense their respect and goodwill rising fast, all above 70 points. Then I had the 15 top-grade girls introduce themselves one by one. Luo Iran went first, 20 years old, bone-tempering stage, with an affection level of 83. The rest followed. Hong Lu, Fan Ying, Peng Yu, Chang Ji, Su Yi, and so on. All 15 were around the same level. When I was 20, I'd already reached the peak of body refining, but it took me until 30 to still be stuck there. That one step between body refining and the origin realm is enormous. Without my system, I might never have crossed it. After everyone introduced themselves, I checked their affection levels. All above 70. Good enough. My 3-courtyard mansion couldn't hold over 70 people comfortably, so I made a decision. I'd bring them all into my personal world. I told them not to resist and wrapped everyone in my spiritual power. One word: collect. And we all vanished from the mansion in an instant. When we appeared in my personal world, everyone looked around in shock. One blink, and they were in a completely different place. If I hadn't been standing right there with them, they probably would have panicked. I told them not to worry. This was my world, our true home. They didn't fully understand at first, so I explained how everything worked. The moment they entered, the family sacred tree had already marked them, which meant they could never reveal any secrets about this place. The mark also pushed their affection and loyalty toward me to the highest level the tree allows, 70 points. It's a powerful ability, though it has limits. If the threshold were higher, I could have marked the city's leaders and taken control overnight. But even so, I'm very satisfied. Once they understood the power of this world, Luo Iran and the others were thrilled. I could tell they felt lucky to be here at the start of my journey. If I were already at my full strength, girls at their level wouldn't even get the chance to stand beside me. Next, I handed out cultivation techniques. I gave the larger group 100 top-grade yellow-level techniques and martial skills, the kind that can take someone all the way to the Qi realm. In Wanxiang City, only the City Lord's mansion has methods this good. Then I gave my 15 closest girls 10 top-grade profound-level techniques, which can lead all the way to the divine platform realm. Their excitement was obvious. I also gave everyone body-tempering pills and told them to come back for more when they ran out. The girls who had come as free gifts from the pavilion looked especially grateful. They knew that if they hadn't been chosen, they would have missed the chance of a lifetime. Meanwhile, I learned later that the pavilion master, a beautiful woman secretly at the peak of the origin realm, had asked Madame Xiu about me. They didn't find much. All they knew was that I'd just arrived and bought a house. The pavilion master thought I was only at the early origin realm stage and decided I wasn't worth watching closely. That's exactly what I wanted. The system hides my true strength so well that even an emperor-level expert couldn't see through it. I plan to grow quietly, and if anyone at my fake level ever challenges me, I can finish them in one move. After everyone finished learning their new techniques, I turned to Luo Iran. She was the first I'd chosen, and it was time for us to take the next step together. She was nervous, but willing. I put up a barrier around us so no one could see or hear, and she relaxed. It was my first time too, even across 2 lives. But I'd studied plenty, so I knew what I was doing. I was gentle and careful with her. Afterward, we sat together and talked. I told her to stop calling me sir and call me husband instead. She hesitated. In this world, only a main wife uses that title, and concubines have very low status. But I told her she's my woman, and we're warriors. We don't need to follow ordinary rules. She smiled and called me husband. Her eyes were full of warmth. She told me about her life at the 100 Flowers Pavilion. It wasn't terrible. She had food, clothing, and got to practice cultivation. But she had no freedom. The pavilion kept her comfortable because she was an investment. They raised her for a few dozen taels of gold and sold her for 100 spirit stones. 100-fold return. They're not a charity. They never lose money. But none of that matters now. She's with me, and her life is about to change completely. I asked Iran about her past. She told me that when she was little, her hometown was hit by a terrible drought. The crops all died, and her parents had to sell her to the 100 Flowers Pavilion just to survive. She said she hated them at first, but as she grew up, she understood. If they hadn't sold her, none of them would have made it. She doesn't know if her parents are still alive, and she has no plans to look for them. The money they received was payment for raising her, and that settled everything between them. She also told me that most girls in the pavilion have similar stories. The unlucky ones with weak talent don't even get taken in. They end up in far worse places. Life is cheap in this world. Only strength gives you a real foothold. I held her close and told her that from now on, she has me. I promised to treat all my wives fairly. Whatever one gets, the others get too. Then she noticed something. Her strength had jumped from the bone refining stage all the way to blood exchange, the peak of body tempering. She skipped an entire stage. She was stunned and asked if it had hurt me somehow. I told her not to worry. My cultivation method benefits both of us. That's how it works. I also told her that once her strength stabilizes in a few days, I'll give her a high-grade breaking mirror pill so she can break through to the Kaiyuan realm. She thought it was too valuable to use on her, but I told her seriously, she's my wife, and she shouldn't think that way. Just take what I give. After we removed the barrier and came out, Iran was a bit shy with everyone watching. I didn't waste time and called Honglu over next. She was nervous but didn't refuse. The other girls crowded around Iran right away, asking if I was kind and easy to be with. She told them I was gentle and treated her well. That put everyone at ease. More than 10 days passed in the outside world. Inside my personal world, that meant over 2 months. I spent most of my time in here. I went outside occasionally to buy building materials, flowers, and trees. The place was too bare and empty. Building was easy. As master of this world, I just need to think and structures appear, perfectly made, as if they grew naturally. I built a manor covering 1 square kilometer on the island. Near the sacred tree, I raised a 9-story tower to hold all the cultivation techniques from my rewards. It became my library. When I checked my recent rewards from the system, I was impressed. I'd spent 100 spirit stones buying 1 girl, and the system gave me back 1,000 stones plus a huge amount of crescent rice seeds. Top yellow-grade crescent rice costs 1 spirit stone per pound and can even boost cultivation if eaten regularly. The system is incredibly generous. I thought about visiting the 100 Flowers Pavilion again, but decided against going too often. It would draw attention. Once a year should be safe until I'm stronger. Instead, I turned to farming. I laid out 300 acres of rice fields and guided water from the lake to fill them. Being the master of this world, all of it took just a single thought. Iran walked up behind me, looking at the new farmland with curious eyes. My husband, what are you doing? I smiled. This world was finally starting to feel alive. The girls all came over when they saw me working the fields. I explained that I had crescent rice seeds, top-grade yellow-level spiritual grain. Once planted, they'd mature in a year, and crescent rice would become our daily food. Everyone got excited. Eating spiritual rice every day means constant improvement. Even someone with low yellow-level talent could reach the opening origin realm just from regular meals of it. No other power in the world would waste resources like this on people with weak talent. Back in my old Lin family, only core members got to eat crescent rice. I was just an ordinary member. I couldn't even smell the stuff. I got about 1 pound of the lowest grade spiritual rice per month, and that was it. But my personal world changes everything. Almost all the land here is spiritual farmland, and it's high quality too. The central island equals top grade earth level, the surrounding areas are profound level, and the lakeside is lower earth level. As I grow stronger, the quality will keep rising. I asked the system about pregnancy. Since time flows 5 times faster inside my world, a baby could be born after just 2 months in the outside world. The system also told me my children would have the best possible talent. That made me very happy. 2 months passed in the outside world, 10 months inside. During that time, I finally helped all 15 of my wives conceive. Every one of them, including Iran, broke through to the Kaiyuan realm. And I made my own breakthrough too. I reached the Chi Si realm. If anyone found out, it would shake the entire power structure of Wanxiang City. But I'm not interested in this city. It lacks resources and isn't worth building my family's base here. Once I reach the Purple Mansion realm, I'll find a proper location. For now, I'll keep my strength hidden. Getting martial artists pregnant turned out to be much harder than I expected. It took the full 10 months inside the world. And it'll only get harder as my strength grows. But thinking about becoming a father to over a dozen children, that's exciting. Since my family's overall strength had grown, the system offered an upgrade package. I opened it and got a yellow-level alchemist inheritance, complete with all the pill recipes. That's a huge boost for us. At the Chi Si realm, my lifespan is now 500 years. Inside the small world, that's equal to 2,500 years. Not bad at all. I checked the requirements for upgrading the family to level 2, and it's going to take some work. But progress has been steady. The 30 maids with top and mid-level talent had all reached the organ refining stage after 10 months of training and resources. The 30 with lower talent reached the bone strengthening stage. With the pills I'm providing, even they can eventually break through to the opening origin realm. With my wives expecting, I needed people who knew how to help with childbirth. I called over 30 maids and told them to go out into the city, split into groups of 3, and find midwives to learn from. Before sending them out, I'd already tested the sacred tree's protection. Once they leave my world, they physically cannot speak, write, or even think about revealing anything related to me or the small world. If they even have the thought of telling someone, they die instantly, body and soul destroyed. The power of the sacred tree is truly terrifying. I sent them off with a simple order: learn everything, be careful, and come back when you're done. After the maids left, I headed out to the treasure pavilion to buy spiritual herb seeds. Now that I have the yellow rank alchemist knowledge, anyone in my family can learn to make pills, but we need herbs first. The shop had 500 types of lower yellow rank seeds, 100 mid rank, 30 high rank, and 5 top rank. I bought every single one for 1,000 spirit stones. The clerk looked shocked. He'd never seen anyone buy like that. He warned me that spiritual herbs need special fields to grow, but I wasn't worried. My personal world has some of the best spiritual farmland anywhere. Of course, this small shop couldn't fill my entire world. But I'm not in a rush. Once the herbs grow, they'll produce new seeds every year. Eventually, my world will be overflowing with them. After that, I spent another 2,000 spirit stones on spirit fish, over 100 varieties across all ranks. My lake covers 300 square kilometers. It would be a waste not to fill it with fish. I also bought a hive of spirit bees. Without them, my fruit trees won't bear fruit. Plus, spirit bees make spirit honey, so it's worth the investment. Then I spent 2,000 more on 10 cows, 2 males, and 8 females. These aren't ordinary cattle. They're gentle spirit beasts, and their milk is packed with nutrition. Cultivation families love them. I bought them for my future children. They haven't been born yet, but a father should plan ahead. When I brought everything into my world, Iran and the others noticed right away. They teased me about preparing baby food so early. I told them straight. As their father, I won't let my children lack anything. They smiled and didn't argue. I could tell they were happy to have someone who cared this much. I set up separate areas for the cows with barriers so they wouldn't wander. The fish needed careful sorting too. Different grades had to be kept apart, or the strong ones would eat the weak. Carnivores and herbivores went into separate zones. I planted all the herb seeds across 200 acres. Then I asked my wives if they needed anything. They all said no. Iran brought up something thoughtful. Since all 15 of them were pregnant now and couldn't take care of me the same way, she suggested I visit the 100 Flowers Pavilion again. I told her it wasn't the right time. Going too often would draw attention. Better to wait a year. Then she had an even better idea. Instead of buying from the pavilion, why not do what they do ourselves? We could quietly take in talented orphans, test village girls for cultivation potential, and train them in our world. We'd have an even bigger advantage than the pavilion because of the time difference and resources in my personal world. She had a point. In this world, most ordinary people never even find out if they have talent. The testing fee in Wanxiang City is 1 tael of gold, more than most farmers can save in a lifetime. If we sent people to the villages to test young girls for free, we could find hidden gems that no one else would ever discover. I like the idea. My family is growing, and we need to think bigger. My wives were full of good ideas, but I told them we need to wait. Our people aren't strong enough yet. I need to train the maids to at least the Kayuan realm before we can start recruiting from the outside. Anyone without the sacred tree's mark can never leave my personal world, so secrets are safe either way. But we still need to take things slow. I told them not to hold back their thoughts. I can't think of everything on my own. More than 10 days passed outside, which meant over 2 months inside the world. And finally, the crescent rice was ready. The golden fields looked beautiful. Harvesting was easy. One thought, and it was done. All the grain collected, stalks bundled up for cow feed. Nothing wasted. We got 300 tons total, about 2,000 jin per mu. That's 4 times what you'd get in the outside world. But it makes sense. My fields are earth-grade spiritual soil. The energy here is rich, and there are no pests or diseases. Perfect growing conditions. I kept 100 tons for eating and planted the other 200 tons across 40 square kilometers. By next harvest, we'd have 60,000 tons. After that, filling the entire world with rice would be easy. In fact, I realized my world is actually too small. A bit disappointing. Iran noticed me thinking and came over. I brushed it off and said I was curious about how crescent rice actually tastes. She said lunch was the perfect time to find out. I shelled all 100 tons right away. After removing the husks, 70 tons of beautiful, translucent rice remained. The husks weren't wasted either. I turned them into pellet feed for the spirit fish. Then I caught 10 golden-threaded carp from the lake. They shimmered like gold in the sunlight. They only weighed about 2 jin each since they hadn't fully grown yet, but I couldn't resist trying them. The maids cooked everything up quickly, and the smell was incredible. Iran picked up a piece of fish and held it to my mouth. I took a bite. Everyone stared at me, waiting. One word, I said. Fresh. It was honestly the best food I've ever eaten in either of my lives. The rice was just as good. Everyone dug in, and the whole meal was pure satisfaction. Even the maids got to eat the crescent rice, though the fish was too scarce to share freely yet. Once the fish reproduce enough, everyone can eat as much as they want. That kind of treatment is better than what even the city lord of Wanxiang City gets. 3 more months passed in the outside world. Inside, the rice matured again, 60,000 tons this time, exactly as I calculated. I planted it across all 600 square kilometers of land surrounding the lake, leaving the lake island for herbs, the dairy cows, and the sacred tree. The spiritual pond at the center had grown into a small lake covering 1 square kilometer. The main lake still covers 300 square kilometers around the island. My little world is finally starting to look like a real home. I did some math on the crescent rice, and the numbers blew my mind. Every 2 months in the outside world, I can harvest 900,000 tons. After shelling, that's 630,000 tons of clean rice. If I sold it all, I could earn around 800 million yellow-grade spirit stones per harvest. Over a full year with 4 harvests, that's about 3.2 billion stones. That's still not enough to match my old Lin family back in Chu. They own spirit stone mines and run all kinds of businesses. But catching up is just a matter of time. The real problem is selling it. If I showed up at the treasure pavilion with mountains of crescent rice, they'd start asking questions. Where did it come from? If they couldn't find answers, they'd know I was hiding something big. That means trouble. So I decided not to rush it. The rice won't spoil in my system storage. Once I reach the Purple Mansion realm, I'll set up my own trading business and sell it myself. The market for top-quality spiritual rice is huge. It'll sell. Over these 3 months in the outside world, my wives all reached the mid-stage of the Kayuan realm. Eating crescent rice every day plus cultivating with spirit stones, their progress has been fast. Even the 30 low-talent maids hit the peak of body tempering. When resources are plentiful, even weaker talent can grow quickly. As for me, I'm still at the early Qi Si realm. Breaking through at this level is at least 100 times harder than reaching Kayuan. But I'm getting close to mid-stage. Then Li Han and her team came back from their midwife training. But they brought a surprise. 2 unconscious young women they'd found in a forest about 100 miles from the city. Both were badly injured and looked like sisters. Li Han had hesitated about whether to help them, worried it might bring trouble to our family. But the other 2 maids convinced her. They said the girls were pretty, might have good talent, and could even become part of the family. Li Han made the call. Bring them home and let me decide. What they didn't know was that half an hour after they left that spot, over 10 people showed up looking for those same two girls. They were from something called the Fire Cloud sect. Their ancestor is at the late Chi-Si stage, and their sect master is at the early Chi-Si stage, one of the strongest forces in Qingyun County. They were hunting the sisters on orders from their young master, and they planned to pressure the city lord of Wanxiang City into helping them search. Li Han and the others had no idea about any of this. They disguised themselves, got back to my house in an hour, and settled the two girls inside. I happened to come home at the same time from a supply run. When I saw Li Han and her team, I was happy they were back safe. They told me the midwife training went perfectly. They'd practiced many times and were confident. I told them they'd worked hard and should rest when they got back to the small world. They said they weren't tired and that everything they do is for the family. I was very pleased with all three of them. Li Han knelt down and told me about the two injured girls they'd brought back. She apologized for bringing strangers into the family without permission. The other two maids knelt too, saying it was their idea and they should take the blame. I told them all to get up. I wasn't going to punish anyone. I also told them not to kneel so easily in the future unless I give an order. Then I had Li Han take me to see the two girls. They were in the guest room, both pale-faced with serious injuries. Their breathing was unsteady. Without treatment, they could die. I asked the system to scan them, and what I found surprised me. Their talent was at the highest level of the mysterious rank. That's rare even in a powerful family like the Chu Kingdom's Lin family. They were twins, both around 20 years old, and had already reached the origin realm. With their talent, that's expected. If they'd been raised in a big family with proper resources, they could have been preparing to break through to the Chi-Si realm by now. According to the system, they were the eldest and second daughters of the Mu family, one of the 4 great families in Chongning City. That city is much stronger than Wanxiang. It ranks in the top 3 of the 16 cities in Qingyun Prefecture, with Chi-Si realm experts. So the Mu family is no small power. Why were these two out here, half dead? I was curious, but not worried. I'd asked them when they woke up. I checked with Li Han whether anyone had seen them on the way back. She assured me they disguised themselves and changed outfits several times before reaching our house. Smart girls. I decided to bring the sisters into my personal world right away. With top-grade mysterious talent and looks that matched my taste, I wasn't going to let this chance slip. Of course, if they refused to join my family, they'd still have to stay in the small world forever. Letting them go in the outside world could lead people back to me. I don't want trouble. When we arrived in the small world, Iran and the others noticed the 2 injured girls immediately. I told them I felt pity and brought them back. Iran asked if I could save them, and I said yes. I'd make a batch of top-grade yellow-level healing pills. I had Iran give them some spiritual liquid first to stabilize their condition. Then I went to the alchemy room. After about an hour, I finished. 10 pills, all perfect quality, no traces of poison. I was pleased. The best possible result from one batch of herbs is 12 pills, and most alchemists can only manage 9. Getting 10 felt good. I brought the pills to the sisters' room. Li Han and the others had already washed and cared for them, and their color looked much better after the spiritual liquid. Li Han fed them the healing pills. I didn't stay to wait. They'd wake up soon enough. I told Li Han to come find me when they did, then went off to spend some time with Iran and the others. I went to spend some time with Iran while we waited. She was cheerful and playful, a big change from her quiet days at the 100 Flowers Pavilion. She asked about the 2 sisters' talent, hoping it was high enough to strengthen our family. When I told her both had top-level mysterious grade talent, her eyes went wide. She was a little envious, but not jealous. She understood that stronger members mean a stronger family. I told her not to worry, that her own talent would improve in the future. She could barely believe it, but she trusted me. After chatting with Iran and spending time with Hong Lu and the others, a day passed in the small world. The sisters woke up. Li Han heard them stirring and went in to check. She told them that I, their family head, had personally made top-grade yellow-level healing pills for them. That shocked them. They knew pills like that are extremely rare. Even in their home city, only the most powerful forces had access to alchemists who could make them. They realized whoever saved them must be someone important. Li Han brought them porridge made with crescent rice. The sisters recognized it immediately as top-quality spiritual rice. Back in their Mu family, they only got 10 jin a month, and their family had over 100,000 members. Top quality rice is almost impossible to buy on the open market. Powerful families grow it, but never have enough to sell. While they ate, the sisters talked about their past. Their family, the Mu family, one of the four great families in Chongning City, had been destroyed. The Fire Cloud sect and three other families attacked them together. Their grandfather sacrificed himself to help them escape. Without that, they would have been captured and handed over to the Fire Cloud sect's young leader. They made a plan before meeting me. They guessed this was a newly established family with few members. If so, they figured the family head might be looking for wives to help grow his clan. They decided to offer themselves, both of them together. It was their best chance at survival and revenge. Trying to grow strong on their own would take over 100 years, and the Fire Cloud sect had spies everywhere in Qingyun County. They couldn't run. They also decided to tell me the truth about their background. Hiding it would only make me suspicious, and news of the Mu family's fall would spread through the county soon anyway. When Li Han came to tell me they were awake, I was with Hong Lu. I asked Hong Lu if she wanted to come along, and she said yes. She smiled when I offered to support her, saying she wasn't that fragile, but her face said otherwise. We walked into the living room together. The two sisters looked surprised when they saw me. They didn't expect someone so young. I could tell they were checking my appearance for signs of being an old monster hiding behind a youthful face. But I don't have that worn-out look, so they figured I was genuinely young, under 100. They noticed Hong Lu's belly and realized she was pregnant. That confirmed their guess about my family being new. They bowed respectfully and said, "Thank you, benefactor." "Greetings, madam." Their respect was genuine. I saved their lives, and in this world, a top-grade yellow-level alchemist commands serious status. Even their late grandfather would have shown respect to someone with my skills. In all of Zhao Kingdom, there isn't a single alchemist above my level. I told the two sisters not to be so formal. Their injuries were healing well thanks to the pills. They were grateful and said without the medicine, they might not have survived. I asked them to stop calling me benefactor and just use Lord Lin. Then they asked where they were, and I told them Wanxiang City. They were surprised. They knew the city was weaker than their hometown, so finding someone like me here was unexpected. I could tell they were putting things together in their heads, probably guessing I was a new family head building up quietly in a small city. They introduced themselves, Mu Shishue and her twin sister Mu Xiu, from the Mu family of Chongning City. I mentioned I'd heard of the Mu family, one of the four great families there. That's when their faces turned sad. Shishue told me the Mu family no longer exists. The story was this. The young leader of the Fire Cloud sect found out the sisters had top-grade mysterious talent. He wanted them as concubines, so the sect sent a marriage proposal. But the sisters knew what kind of person he was. He practiced an evil technique that drained people. Anyone he used up died within a year, horribly. Their grandfather and parents refused immediately. At first, the family wasn't worried. The Fire Cloud sect was stronger, but attacking the Mu family openly would cost them dearly. Plus, there were three other great families and the city lord's mansion keeping the balance. No one would dare start a war. But they were wrong. The Fire Cloud sect secretly convinced the other three families to join forces. They promised to split the Mu family's assets. Together, the four powers crushed them. The city lord's mansion did nothing to stop it. Their grandfather sacrificed his life to help the sisters escape, and they fought off pursuers until they collapsed in that forest where Li Han found them. As they told their story, tears rolled down their faces. Hong Lu, who was sitting beside me, felt deeply moved. I could see her finally understanding why I keep such a low profile despite being strong enough to control this city. Being too visible invites exactly this kind of attack. I told Hong Lu the truth about this world. There's no good or evil, only the strong and the weak. When someone is powerful enough that no one dares challenge them, they can do whatever they want and nobody will call them wrong. That's just how things are. I've lived here for 30 years, and I've heard stories like the Moose sisters many times. Hong Lu nodded seriously and said she'd train harder from now on. I was pleased with her attitude. Then I asked the sisters what they planned to do next. Shishue answered honestly. She said there was no safe place for them in Qingyun County anymore. The four powers had spies everywhere. If they left, they'd be found. She asked me to take them in. Even as servants or slaves, they were willing. I could see she was being sincere. She wasn't pushing for anything beyond a place to stay. The rest, becoming part of the family in a deeper way, She was leaving for later when the time felt right. I didn't agree right away. I checked their information through the system first. Their favorability was almost at 70, probably because I saved their lives. It wouldn't be long before it crossed the threshold for the sacred tree's mark. I could see them getting nervous while I was thinking. Their eyes were full of anxiety, not knowing if I'd let them stay. Finally, I told them the Lin family was just established and we needed people. They could stay, but I made it clear loyalty is required. Betray the family, and they could imagine the consequences. They swore they'd be faithful. I believed them, but I said what needed to be said. Then I gave them another option. I told them they could become my concubines if they wanted. The family is new, and I need to expand. But I made sure they knew it wasn't forced. If they refused, they could still stay as regular members. Their eyes went wide. I could tell this was exactly what they'd been hoping for. They didn't even need time to think. Both said yes immediately. I was pleased. I told them to rest and heal first. As for their enemies, the Fire Cloud sect and the 3 families that destroyed their home, I told them not to think about revenge in the short term. The family needs to stay hidden and grow quietly for a few more years. But I also told them something that made their eyes light up. In a few years, they might not even need me to step in. With the resources I'd provide, they could reach the point where they could take revenge themselves. They could barely believe it. Their grandfather trained for hundreds of years and only made it to the early Chi-Si realm. But I meant what I said. With my personal world's time advantage and the cultivation resources I have, pushing them to the peak of the Chi-Si realm in a few outside world years is very possible. They thanked me and left to rest, led by Li Han. On the way back, Li Han congratulated them. I could tell she was a little envious. Her talent wasn't high enough for her to become a concubine herself. The sisters were kind to her, though. They insisted on calling her Big Sister, since she was the one who saved them. Without Li Han's decision to bring them home, they'd be in the hands of the Fire Cloud sect right now. Li Han tried to be modest about her position, but the sisters wouldn't let her. They understood that even though Li Han was technically a maid, she was my trusted confidant. In their eyes, that made her standing in the family higher than most. Then Shishua asked Li Han to tell them more about me. Only the things that weren't secret. Li Han's face turned serious. She told them she believed I was the reincarnation of a supreme being. The sisters' expressions changed instantly. Their eyes filled with shock. I wasn't there to see it, but I can imagine the look on their faces. Let them think what they want. The more they believe in my potential, the harder they'll work. And the harder they work, the stronger our family becomes. I wasn't there for the conversation, but I later learned what Li Han told the Mu sisters. After I left, the sisters asked Li Han about me. Li Han didn't hold back. She told them she and the other girls believed I was the reincarnation of a great emperor. The sisters had no idea what that meant at first. In the 100 Nations, most people think the divine power realm is the highest level a martial artist can reach. They'd never heard of anything beyond it. Li Han explained everything I taught her. Beyond the divine power realm, there are many more stages: Respecter, Quasi-Saint, Saint, Saint King, Saint Emperor, Saint Sovereign, Quasi-Emperor, and Great Emperor. The sisters were stunned. They had no idea the world was so vast, or that the 100 Nations was just a tiny corner of it. Only the top forces around here know these secrets. Then Li Han told them the real reason she believed I might be a reincarnated emperor. She revealed that the place they were standing in wasn't Wanxiang City at all. It was a separate world I had created. A world cut off from the outside, with spiritual energy many times richer than anything the Mu family ever had. And the biggest secret: time here flows 5 times faster. 1 day outside equals 5 days inside. But the lifespan you use up stays the same as outside, meaning everyone living here effectively lives 5 times longer than normal. The sisters were completely speechless. Creating an entire world with its own time flow, that kind of power was beyond anything they could imagine. They were now fully convinced that Li Han's guess about me being a great emperor's reincarnation made sense. Once they recovered from the shock, Shishua asked how many concubines I had. Li Han told her, just 15, and all pregnant. The sisters relaxed when they heard that number. Their own father had hundreds of concubines, and powerful cultivators at the Purple Palace level often have thousands. The higher your cultivation, the harder it is to have children, so spreading the bloodline wide is normal. After Li Han left them to rest, the sisters talked privately. Shirshua told her younger sister they had to seize this opportunity. Whatever I asked them to do, they'd do it well. As for the Fire Cloud sect and the 3 families that destroyed their home, they could wait a few more years. When their strength was ready, they would take revenge with their own hands. A fierce look crossed Shirshua's eyes. She meant every word. 10,000 Mu family members needed to be avenged. Shiyu nodded with the same determination. I may not have been in the room, but I could sense the change in them. Their resolve was exactly what I needed in my family. While the Mu sisters were resting and healing in my small world, things were happening outside that I didn't know about yet. The sisters had fully accepted their new situation. After learning from Lihan about who I might be and seeing the power of my personal world, they were determined to work hard. Shirshua told her younger sister to focus on healing first, then try to have a child as soon as possible. Once they had children, they'd truly be part of the Lin family. It wasn't scheming. Losing their entire family had changed them. They just wanted to belong somewhere again. Meanwhile, in the outside world, the Fire Cloud sect hadn't given up on finding them. A steward named Liao Chun brought over 10 disciples to Wanxiang City and went straight to the city lord's mansion. The guards stopped them at first, acting tough as usual. But the moment Liao Chun mentioned the Fire Cloud sect, their attitude flipped to flattery. The sect's reputation carries weight in Qingyun County. City Lord Yang agreed to see him. Liao Chun explained that they were chasing 2 enemies of the sect who had been rescued about 100 miles from the city. He asked the city lord to help investigate whether any local forces were involved. As payment, he offered a top-quality breaking mirror pill, a very precious item. The Fire Cloud sect only produces 3 per year for all its disciples. City Lord Yang was immediately tempted. That pill could give his Yang family another Kaiyuan realm expert. So he agreed to help and ordered his people to secretly check all 4 city gates for any sign of the 2 sisters. 5 days passed with no results. Liao Chun grew impatient. His young sect master kept pressuring him for updates. City Lord Yang told him he'd used every resource he had, but found nothing. He guessed the sisters either never came to Wanxiang City or had somehow ended up at the 100 Flowers Pavilion. And the pavilion was untouchable. Even the entire Zhao Kingdom couldn't afford to offend them. Liao Chen's face turned serious at the mention of the pavilion. He knew the Fire Cloud sect was no match for that organization. If the Mu sisters were really there, he'd have no way to bring them back. Of course, the sisters weren't at the pavilion. They were safe inside my personal world, a place no one in this city, or this entire county, could ever find. Li Han's careful disguises when bringing them home had paid off. There was no trail to follow, and no one would ever connect 2 injured girls to my quiet little residence. For now, the Fire Cloud sect was chasing ghosts, and that suited me perfectly. The Mu sisters' injuries healed fully thanks to the spiritual fish and crescent rice. During their recovery, they bonded with Iran and the others, and their feelings toward me grew past 70 points. The sacred tree marked them both. They also learned everything about the small world. The 900,000 acres of crescent rice alone left them speechless. The value of one harvest exceeded their Mu family's 500 years of wealth. Meanwhile, outside, the Fire Cloud sect steward Liao Chen spent 5 days pressuring City Lord Yang to search for the sisters. Yang used all his resources, but found nothing. He guessed the sisters might have gone to the 100 Flowers Pavilion, which no one in the region dares to touch. Liao Chun gave Yang 500 spirit stones for his trouble and left empty-handed. He'd have to report failure to his young sect master. They also worried the sisters might grow stronger and come back for revenge someday. They had no idea how right they were. When the time came, I visited Shirshua first. She was nervous at the start, fidgeting with her hands. I sat beside her and told her this was her home now, and no one would bully her. She thought about everything: the escape, nearly dying, being rescued by Li Han, and suddenly relaxed. She leaned into my arms and called me husband. That night, my cultivation method boosted her strength to mid-stage Kaiyuan. The system rewarded me too, top-grade spiritual herbs, including a soul-nourishing fruit. That fruit is the main ingredient for a soul-building pill, which can help someone at the Purple Mansion realm break through to the Divine Platform stage. Experts at the Divine Platform level fight fiercely over these pills whenever one appears. I planted the fruit tree near the sacred tree. It'll take 30 years to mature, but I'm in no rush. The next night was Shiyu's turn. She'd been eager all day after hearing about her sister's breakthrough. Sure enough, she also advanced to mid-stage Kaiyuan. The system rewarded me with a top-grade spiritual weapon, something only divine platform experts normally use. With this weapon and no one at my level having anything similar, I'm unbeatable at the Qi realm. My talent also improved to mid-grade profound level. I could feel spiritual energy flowing into me much faster than before. I asked the system why pregnancy for my wives follows the main world's time, while the cows and fish breed on the small world's faster clock. The system explained the reason, and it made sense. I also reminded Li Han to hide her true strength. She used to belong to the 100 Flowers Pavilion, and they know her well. If they saw she'd jump to the Kaiyuan realm this fast, they'd start asking questions that lead back to me. Luckily, my beginner gift pack included a concealment technique. I had everyone learn it. At our current mastery, no one below the Purple Mansion realm can see through it. The next day, I sent Li Han to the 100 Flowers Pavilion with 10 spirit stones to buy 100 low-grade maidservants. We needed more people to help run things. Xionyang was happy to see her and offered 150 girls instead of 100, since spirit stones are worth far more than their gold equivalent. Li Han accepted. Xionyang asked her to put in a good word with me, so I'd come back more often. She said the girls at the pavilion would be lucky to end up with someone like me. She had no idea just how lucky they'd be. Xionyang's words touched Li Han deeply. The girls here really have a hard life. If they could marry into a good family, they could live peacefully. But the chance of meeting a good family is very small. Not everyone is as lucky as her to meet someone as kind as Lin Fan. Xionyang, don't worry. I will definitely speak well of the master. Whether it helps or not, that's not something I can decide. All right, whether it works out or not, I thank you on behalf of the girls here. Xionyang didn't expect Li Han to persuade Lin Fan. She was just speaking casually, mainly because Li Han seemed to be living quite well. If Lin Fan could visit here often, Baiwa Tower could not only make money, but also find good homes for the girls. After Li Han left Baiwa Tower, she followed Lin Fan's instructions and bought about 10 kinds of first-level poultry, such as Fireflame Kuin and spiritual feather ducks. She also bought a few pairs of mountain spirit sheep, strong oxen, and flame blood pigs for breeding. Once these animals reproduce, they won't lack meat anymore. Although spiritual fish are delicious, eating fish every day can get boring. After finishing these tasks, Li Han returned to her residence. In the small world, after Lin Fan accepted these 150 people, he handed them all over to Li Han to arrange. With Li Han and the others around, Lin Fan didn't need to explain the situation to them. As for the Fireflame Kuin and others, Lin Fan divided them into zones for breeding. The poultry was fed with crescent rice, while the mountain spirits were fed straw, and he also planted a batch of spiritual pasture. If outsiders knew that Lin Fan was feeding Fire Cloud Kun, a first-level beast, with top-quality spiritual rice, they would probably be surprised. But Lin Fan didn't lack much. He had plenty of crescent rice. The 600 square kilometer area of crescent rice had already been harvested. In his storage space, along with previous harvests, he now stored 950,000 tons of crescent rice. With so much rice, it was normal to use some to feed Fire Cloud Kun. Over the next month, thanks to Lin Fan's efforts, Mu Xiu and Mu Shishue finally became pregnant. As for Luo Iran and the others, they were over 6 months pregnant now, in the main world's time. All the people Lin Fan sent out to learn had now returned. Now, with abundant resources provided by Lin Fan, they all began practicing cultivation. Lin Fan hoped that before the babies were born, his 60 maids who followed him would all reach the Kaiyuan realm. Thousands of miles away from Wuxiang City, at the Huayun sect, their young sect master, Luo Tsang, was furious. Liao Steward, I want an explanation. Why are so many people chasing after her, and yet you still lost her? What are you all doing? Do you know how much resource we've spent for those two? Thinking about the resources they gave to the 3 major families of Chongning City and the City Lord's mansion, Luo Tsang's heart was bleeding. The combined value of resources given to these 4 major forces was at least 1 million yellow-grade spirit stones. It would take the Huayun sect several years to accumulate that much. Although they earned over 1 million spirit stones each year, after paying for their disciples and respecting the Purple Palace forces, they could only keep about 200,000 spirit stones. Losing 1 million spirit stones without even getting the person was frustrating for Luo Tsang. He was so anxious because once he completed the cultivation of those two, his talent could be upgraded to the lower earth grade. With that upgrade, this loss wouldn't matter much. But unfortunately, all his efforts were in vain. They invested so much, only for the person to disappear. How could he accept that? Seeing Luo Tsang's fierce gaze, Liao Chun wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Young sect leader, we did our best. When we tracked near Wanxiang City, they were rescued by someone. I asked the city lord of Wanxiang City to help find them. In the end, we confirmed that they were taken away by the 100 Flowers Tower. Although there is no clear evidence that the 100 Flowers Tower is responsible, blaming them is the best option right now. The Fire Cloud sect does not dare to question the 100 Flowers Tower about this matter. So, in the end, this issue will probably be forgotten. 100 Flowers Tower, why are you against me? Luo Tsang shouted to the sky. At this moment, he hated the 100 Flowers Tower but felt helpless. The 100 Flowers Tower is too powerful. The Fire Cloud sect cannot afford to provoke them. He is ruthless, but not stupid. Sanger, what are you doing? They're just two women. Why get so angry? Greetings, sect leader. Liao Chun saw the visitor and quickly bowed. The visitor was a noble and elegant woman. Luo Qingyan, the sect leader of the 100 Flowers Tower. She is Luo Tsang's mother and has reached the early stage of the Qi-Si realm. Above her is Luo Yunzhou, a late-stage Qi-Si expert. He is Luo Qingyan's father and Luo Tsang's grandfather. This is why Luo Tsang is so favored in the sect. Both of the strongest figures are his close relatives, so he can do as he pleases in the sect. Deacon Liao, you may leave now. Yes, sect leader. Liao Chun felt as if he had been granted mercy and hurriedly left. The pressure Luo Tsang exerted was too much for him. Mother, I hate it. Luo Tsang's voice was full of grief. Sanger, in this world, it's not only the Mu family that has two young women with top-grade innate talent. Since we lost them, we should spend more time searching for them. I don't know if practicing this cultivation method was right or wrong. Look at you now. You're like possessed. That cultivation method could absorb others to improve their talent, but it could only raise them to the lower grade of the earth level. Because the method was too evil, it had serious drawbacks and a high chance of causing madness. Now, many girls with top-grade innate talent have tragically died during Luo Tsang's absorption. Luo Tsang's talent has also improved from the initial yellow grade to the top grade of the mysterious level. Although his talent greatly improved, Luo Tsang's personality became increasingly cruel. Many maids who served him were cruelly killed for no reason. Now, the servants of the Fire Cloud sect are very afraid when they hear they might serve the young sect master. Mother, at this point, there's no way to turn back. Luo Tsang also knows his personality has changed a lot, but he just can't control his violent nature. Mother, you must help me. I can feel that once my talent reaches the lower earth grade, I will immediately break through to the Qi-Si realm. Then, our Fire Cloud sect will have 3 experts in the Qi-Si realm, which will make our sect stronger in Qingyun County and help us get more resources. All right, Mother will send people to find them as soon as possible. Jinyan Luo made up her mind to find 2 girls with top-grade Xian-level talent quickly. She is doing this not only for her son, but also for the good of the Fire Cloud sect. Lin Fan doesn't know what is happening in the Fire Cloud sect. Even if he did, he wouldn't care much about just a sect. He plans to keep the Fire Cloud sect to personally avenge Mu Shishue and others. For months have passed in the main world. Today, the small world is especially busy. At Luo Iran's residence, maids come and go, busy with their tasks. Today, Luo Iran is about to give birth. Outside the delivery room, Lin Fan keeps walking back and forth. He knows that with Luo Iran's current strength, giving birth won't be dangerous. But having been a parent twice, he's naturally nervous today. Mu Shishue feels dizzy from Lin Fan's pacing and quickly stops him. Husband, don't be nervous. You're just walking around here. Iran is not an ordinary person. She won't be in danger. Yes, husband. Instead of walking back and forth, you should think about the baby's name, Mu Shiyu suggests. Seeing Mu Shiyu ask about the baby's name, Lin Fan stops. Shiyu, I already have the name. Iran's baby is a boy, and I have named him Lin Haichun. As the eldest son, I hope he shines like the stars in the sky. Regarding whether the baby is a boy or a girl, Lin Fan's intuition was clear. Besides the baby's name, I also prepared 10 characters for the generation name. The boy's generation name includes Haoming, Qingyu, Shiyuan, Jingxing, Qiyuan. These 10 characters. The girl's generation name includes Yu Yao, Bingqing, Roashi, Yun, Yin. These 10 characters. If we run out of characters later, we can add more. Mu Shirshuent. Mu Shiyu didn't expect that Lin Fan had already chosen the baby's name in advance. The name Lin Haichen sounds very nice. Wow, wow, wow. A baby's cry interrupted the conversation outside. Hearing the cry, Lin Fan didn't hesitate and went straight inside. Mu Shiyu and Mu Shishue followed him in. As for Hong Lu and the others, who were close to giving birth, Lin Fan didn't let them come in. Seeing Luo Yiran lying on the bed, looking very tired, Lin Fan quickly appeared by her side. Yiran, you've worked hard. Husband, there's nothing hard about it. It's what I should do. Lin Fan's concern moved Luo Yiran deeply, especially because he cared about her first, not the baby, which made her feel warm inside. Although it might seem like she was competing for her husband's attention, who wouldn't want their husband to care for them? Husband, come look at our baby. Hearing Luo Yiran want to see the baby, Li Han hurriedly brought the baby over. Master, Lady Yiran, the eldest son is so adorable. His skin is very smooth, unlike most newborns. He will surely be extraordinary in the future. Li Han had seen many babies born while studying outside, and most of them were wrinkled at birth. But our eldest son is so handsome right from the start. Lin Fan took the baby in his arms, feeling a strong connection. This made him feel a sense of responsibility and duty. Yiran, our baby is so cute. By the way, I've named him Lin Haichen. He carefully placed Lin Haichen beside Luo Yiran. Luo Yiran looked at Lin Haichen and gently stroked his face with her finger. Xiao Haoqing, did you hear? Your father named you Lin Haoqing. Do you like it? Giggling, husband, look. Xiao Haoqing is smiling. He must really like this name. Mu Shishue and Mu Shiyu looked at Lin Haoqing with happy expressions. Congratulations, sister. Xiao Haoqing is so smart. He will be extraordinary in the future. Thank you, both of you. Xiao Haoqing's future brothers and sisters will also be remarkable. While the three were talking about Lin Haoqing, a display panel appeared before Lin Fan, showing his son's attributes. The panel was simple and clear. When Lin Fan saw Lin Haoqing's talent, he was truly surprised. He didn't expect Lin Haoqing's talent to reach the lower earth level. Remember, when Luo Yiran was pregnant, her talent was only at the lower mystic level, and Luo Yiran herself was only at the top yellow level. With their talents at that time, the child's talent was most likely at the top yellow level, or the lower mystic level. There was a small chance it could be at the middle mystic level. But now, it has become the lower earth level. It seems the small world played a big role. Lin Fan remembered the system, saying that staying in the small world during pregnancy could slowly enhance the child's talent. He didn't expect it to improve so much. Although parents with low-level talents can have children with high-level talents, the chance is very small. Husband, quickly check Xiao Haoqing's cultivation talent. They knew Lin Fan could see others' talents with his eyes. If it were someone else, they would need special tools to test talent. Of course, after reaching the divine ability realm, one could see ordinary people's talents with the naked eye without tools. Honestly, Luo Yiran was feeling very nervous at this moment. She didn't know how good Lin Haoqing's cultivation talent was. If his talent was poor, would Lin Fan dislike him? It's normal for Luo Yiran to think this way. In this world, cultivation families are very dismissive of those without talent. They wouldn't be enslaved or bullied, but they wouldn't be treated with respect either. Yiran, don't worry. Haoqing's talent is very good. It has reached the lower earth level. Wow, it's actually the lower earth level. Congratulations, Yiran's sister. Mu Shishue and Mu Shiyu offered their blessings to Luo Yiran. Luo Yiran was also filled with surprise at this moment, and her smile could no longer be hidden. This was a low-grade talent at the city level. With Lin Fan's training, becoming a powerful cultivator in the divine ability realm was a sure thing. All her worries disappeared at this moment, and she felt completely relaxed. Two younger sisters, you don't need to envy. Your talents are much higher than mine. After the baby is born, your talents will definitely be even better. Then I'll take your good wishes, Yiran's sister. Mu Shiyu and Mu Shirshua naturally hoped their children would have better talents too. Seeing everyone caring about the child's talent, Lin Fan spoke. You don't need to worry about the child's talent. Even if it's a common grade talent, they are my children. I won't dislike them. Moreover, our family has plenty of resources. Even with a common grade talent, I can still help them improve. Lin Fan's words reassured them, giving them peace of mind. This made Mu Shiyu and Mu Shirshua feel much more relaxed. Although their talents were higher than Luo Yiran's, no one could guarantee that their own children would have higher talents. Even with city-level talent, many of their descendants had ordinary talent. Actually, common grade talent isn't impossible to improve to a higher realm. It just develops more slowly and consumes more resources. Body tempering realm only has 150 years of lifespan, so they don't have much time to reach higher levels. But Lin Fan's situation was different. Staying inside the small world, even in the body tempering realm, had a lifespan of 750 years. That long time was enough to push for higher levels. So Lin Fan wasn't worried about the children's talents at all. Once the family's divine tree grew, to a certain point, it could produce fruits that enhance talent. By then, even with common grade talent, they could still have the potential to become sacred bodies. Suddenly, the loud crying of the baby made Luo Yiran, who was leisurely playing with the child, become a bit panicked. She looked anxiously at Lin Haichun, who was crying loudly, and was at a loss. Husband, why is Xiaohao crying? Faced with her crying child, Luo Yiran, a new mother, didn't know what to do. At that moment, Lin Fan hadn't had a chance to respond when Li Han quickly approached. Master, Madam the Young. Master must be hungry. Let me take care of him. I'll feed him some spiritual milk. Hearing that the child was crying because of hunger, Luo Yiran finally relaxed. You little rascal, so careless. You scared your mother right after you were born. After teasing the child, Luo Yiran handed him over to Li Han. Once Li Han took Lin Haichun away, Mu Shiyu and Mu Shirshua prepared to leave. Husband, please stay here with Sister Yiran. We're going to report the good news to our other sisters, Mu Shirshua said gently. Yes, dear. Our other sisters are waiting for us to share this happy news, Mu Shiyu added. Lin Fan smiled and nodded, feeling very happy and satisfied seeing them get along so well. If there had been palace struggles, he would have been worried. All the rewards are at the earth level. It seems that the rewards for the child's birth are also related to talent. Although there were no saint or emperor level rewards, Lin Fan was still very happy. With the system, he believed these higher rewards would come in the future. Now he just needed to focus on developing steadily. During this time, Hong Lu and the others also began to give birth one after another. In just 20 days in the main world, Lin Fan became the father of 15 children. Hong Lu gave birth to a daughter named Lin Yue, with Earth-level low talent. Fanning had a daughter named Lin Yuqing, with Mystic-level top talent. Pang Yu had a son named Lin Haoyu, with Mystic-level top talent. Chang Ji had a son named Lin Haoshuan, with Mystic-level top talent. Su Yi had a daughter named Lin Yuhan, with Mystic-level top talent. Su Zi had a son named Lin Haoqian, with Earth-level low talent. Huang Ye had a daughter named Lin Yuding, with Earth-level low talent. Zhou Tong had a daughter named Lin Yushi, with Earth-level low talent. Mi Shan had a daughter named Lin Yufei, with Mystic-level top talent. Ning Yu had a son named Lin Hao Yuan, with Mystic-level top talent. Zhu Hainan had a son named Lin Haoza, with Earth-level low talent. Bao Xinting had a son named Lin Haoran, with Mystic-level top talent. Zhong Siki had a daughter named Lin Yuma, with average talent. Ling Manqing also had a daughter named Lin Yushan, with top-level rare talent. Additionally, Luo Yiran had a son named Lin Haotzen. Lin Fan now has a total of 7 sons and 8 daughters. Their cultivation talents include 7 with lower grade Earth-level talent and 8 with top-tier mysterious-level talent. Overall, their cultivation talent is very good. In the land of 100 kingdoms, they are considered geniuses. If they were on the entire Xintian continent, they might not be enough to impress. With the birth of these children, Lin Fan received many system rewards. Including the rewards for Lin Haotzen, he gained a total of 700 low-grade origin stones and 8,000 mysterious-grade origin stones. Besides the stones, the low-grade Earth-level rewards included 1 cultivation technique, 3 martial skills. 3 weapons. The top-tier mysterious level rewards included 1 rare Zhugua tree, 100 jade stones for talent testing, 100 sound transmission jade talismans, 10 bottles of top-tier mysterious solid foundation pills, 1 inheritance of a top-tier mysterious forging master, 5 pairs of juvenile flood dragon horses, currently at 2nd level, capable of reaching 5th level when grown, 2 sets of top-tier mysterious array formations, 1 for defense, 1 for attack, a hive of purple crystal bees, 1 queen bee, currently at 3rd level, with potential to grow to 5th level or higher if evolved into a bee emperor, 100 male bees, at 2nd level, capable of reaching 4th level, 10,000 worker bees, at 1st level, capable of reaching 3rd level. Purple crystal honey can help improve strength. Honey from 1st level bees is effective for body tempering, while 3rd level honey benefits the energy sea realm. Queen bee royal jelly is even more effective, not only boosting strength, but also beautifying the skin. Bee emperor royal jelly greatly aids in spiritual realm cultivation. Seeing these rewards, Lin Fan felt very satisfied, especially the 2 sets of top-tier mysterious array formations. Once combined and placed in the family residence, no one in the spiritual realm could threaten the Lin family. However, Lin Fan decided to wait until reaching the Purple Mansion realm to build the family residence. With his current strength, he couldn't find a good place to build it now. The top-tier mysterious solid foundation pills arrived just in time. After their children are born, Luo Iran and the others will consume their own origins. If you do not replenish, the top-tier mysterious solid foundation pills arrived just in time. After their children are born, Luo Iran and the essence pill, taking 1 can quickly restore the consumed origin. Originally, Lin Fan planned to refine pills himself, but he can only make high-quality yellow-grade pills at the moment, so the effect isn't as good as the solid essence pill. As for the forging master inheritance, Lin Fan doesn't plan to use it himself. He has already learned to refine pills and doesn't want to focus on forging for now. He will consider the higher-level forging master inheritance in the future. Perhaps he can find a time to pass this inheritance to a little concubine. Next, Lin Fan planted the jujube fruit and placed the purple gold beehive near the family's sacred tree. The 5-stage juvenile flood dragon horse was also properly settled by Lin Fan, who allocated a 1 square kilometer land for them. When the small world expands in the future, he can expand their territory. Once these flood dragon horses reproduce, they can become mounts for the Lin family. These are 5-stage monsters, and when they mature, they are equivalent to the divine platform realm, making them a dominant force in 100 countries. On the Xintian continent, they are also not to be underestimated. However, flood dragon horses need about 500 to 600 years to mature. But Lin Fan is not worried, because the small world's time runs 5 times faster than the main world. As long as there are enough resources for cultivation, the growth of the flood dragon horses can also be accelerated. Maybe in the future, with better resources, they can even evolve. After taking care of all these matters, Lin Fan returned to his residence and prepared to plan his next move. Li Han, come in for a moment. Soon, the door was gently pushed open, and Li Han stepped in lightly. She approached Lin Fan and respectfully bowed, softly saying, "Family head." Lin Fan smiled and waved his hand, indicating she need not be so formal. Then he asked directly, "Xiao Han, give me a report on your cultivation progress." Li Han immediately straightened her posture and replied, "Reporting to the family head. With your ample resources, my 9 sisters with top-quality talent, and I have successfully broken through to the middle of the Kaiyuan stage." She paused briefly before continuing. The remaining 50 sisters have also all successfully advanced to the early Kaiyuan stage. Lin Fan nodded with satisfaction and asked, "What about the 150 new members who joined later? How is their training progressing?" "Master, due to limited time, they have only reached the body refining stage. However, a few of them have already reached the peak of body tempering." Lin Fan smiled happily and praised, "Very good. It seems everyone is working hard on their training." He secretly thought that their progress was impressive. This was only the result of 1 year of development in Wanxiang City. Now, the Lin family's strength had improved greatly. If their strength were known, they could have a place in Qingyun County. Right now, The biggest difference with other powerful groups was the number of people. Those families at the Sea of Chi stage each had over 100,000 members. But he, including the maid, only had about 200 people. The gap was huge, but there was no need to rush. Those groups had been developing for hundreds of years, while he was just starting. Li Han didn't feel proud of Lin Fan's praise. Master provides so many resources and such a good environment. If everyone doesn't work hard on their training, they don't deserve to stay here. These training conditions are something many people can only dream of, so the sisters all cherish it. Li Han's words reflected not only her thoughts, but also everyone else's. Lin Fan was even more satisfied with her answer. Li Han, I called you here not only to check on your training progress, but also because I have some tasks for you. Hearing about a task, Li Han immediately became alert. Master, please give the orders. Arrange for 30 people, all of whom must be at the opening Yuan stage or higher. Then divide them into 10 groups of 3. Send them out of Wanxiang City to different mountain villages and towns to find talented children and bring them back. Of course, everything must be voluntary. No one should be forced. No matter how talented someone is, if they don't want to go, I don't need them. They might miss opportunities, not me. At the same time, for those willing to follow us, their families should be given a generous reward. Absolutely no one is allowed to bully others. We do not lack this kind of money. Additionally, we need to be especially strict with the boys' requirements. Their talent must be at least of the mysterious level, and they should be no older than 12. As for the girls, a yellow level talent is enough, and they should be no older than 20. Any who are unmarried are acceptable. Understood, family head. I will arrange the personnel immediately and ensure the task is completed. Li Han was also quick and efficient. After leaving, she immediately began gathering people. The reason Lin Fan has such high standards for boys is because he needs to start developing the family's hidden influence. If their talent is too low, their cultivation speed will be very slow, and they won't help the Lin family much. They won't keep up with the family's growth. In comparison, the requirements for girls can be a bit lower. Even if their strength is slightly weaker, they can stay at home as maids. Not long after, Li Han led 30 people to stand before Lin Fan. Greetings, family head. Everyone, no need for formalities, Lin Fan said with a smile. I believe Li Han has already told you the general details of this task. I won't repeat them. The group nodded in understanding. Lin Fan continued. This time, you must be very careful. The task is important, but your safety comes first. His tone was serious and sincere. He didn't want anyone to get hurt. Rest assured, family head. We will be very careful. Her warm feelings grew stronger because of Lin Fan's concern, and they all felt grateful and respectful. According to the time in the small world, they have been with Lin Fan for over 5 years. During these 5 years, Lin Fan has always provided cultivation resources without interruption. They are willing to give everything for such a kind family head. Here are 10 jade stones for talent testing and 10 communication jade talismans, Lin Fan said, showing the items to everyone. You all know about the talent testing jade stones, so I won't explain further. Lin Fan paused briefly, then continued. This communication jade talisman is a magical tool used for sending messages. Even if you're thousands of miles apart, you can still communicate. Each group will receive one to contact me when needed. This time, you will need to travel far, starting from the center of the 10,000 phenomena city, within a radius of 10,000 miles. Along the way, you'll pass through other cities and territories, so be very careful. When you find some children, gather them in a hidden place, and send me a message at the Shin hour in the afternoon. I will be in the main world at that time. After sending the message, wait there. I will come to you. With Lin Fan's current flying speed, he can reach anywhere within 10,000 miles in less than 15 minutes. Next, Lin Fan distributed the top-quality yellow-level long swords he received from the beginner gift pack to them. They might face battles this time, so having weapons is essential. After giving these instructions, Lin Fan took them out of the small world. Remember, be very careful. Test your talents secretly, and don't make a big fuss, Lin Fan reminded them once more. Rest assured, Master, we know what to do. Good, then you may leave. No matter what happens, come back in a year. Take care, Master. You too, take care. After saying goodbye, the 30 of them split into 10 small groups and secretly left 10,000 Phenomena City. After leaving the city, they exchanged good wishes and quickly dispersed. Lin Fan watched them leave, muttering to himself, within 10,000 miles, nearly half of Qingyun County's territory. I hope you find something useful. If there aren't many people, I will need to expand the search area later. Lin Fan didn't stay long in the main world before returning to the small world. Since there was nothing urgent, he spent time playing with Luo Yiran and the others, teasing the 15 little ones. The small world is lively now, with children's crying heard from time to time. Mu Shishue and Mu Shiyu are not pregnant yet. They still have about 4 months to go. Fortunately, the small world doesn't restrict their growth. Otherwise, growing for 5 years in the small world would still leave them looking only 1 year old. However, their bone age will not increase. By that time, his body would be 5 years old, but his bone age would only be 1 year. However, this doesn't matter much. As long as he stays in the small world until he reaches his teens in the main world, outsiders won't notice any problem. Iran, I plan to go see the Million Mountains tomorrow. During the conversation, Lin Fan shared his upcoming plan. Husband, what did you say? You're going to the Million Mountains tomorrow, Luo Iran exclaimed in surprise, her face full of worry. Her surprise drew the attention of Mu Shiyu and others, who all looked at Lin Fan and Luo Iran with curiosity. Iran, what happened? Why such a loud voice? Someone asked. Husband said he's going to the Million Mountains tomorrow, Luo Iran explained directly to clear up the confusion. When everyone heard that Lin Fan was going to the Million Mountains, they all looked deeply worried. The Million Mountains is a place full of unknown dangers. The monsters there are very fierce, and one wrong move could be deadly. Moreover, the area is rich in resources, attracting many warriors seeking treasures. With so many people, incidents of fighting and theft happen often. Going to the Million Mountains isn't a big deal, is it? You don't need to worry so much, Lin Fan said, surprised by everyone's reactions. He just wanted to go for some training. He didn't expect everyone to be so concerned. He has been reborn in this world for 30 years, but has never experienced real combat. He wants to go to the Million Mountains to hunt some monsters, practice his skills, and improve his fighting ability. After all, having strong power alone isn't enough. Without enough combat experience, he would likely suffer when facing enemies. Right now, he can only practice with monsters. If he fights people, he might reveal his strength, which would be risky. Husband, didn't you say before that the Million Mountains are very dangerous? Only powerful cultivators at the divine ability stage can pass through safely, Luo Iran asked, her beautiful eyes full of concern and confusion. Seeing Luo Iran's worried face, Lin Fan felt a warm feeling in his heart and understood why they were so anxious. Oh, so you were worried about this. Sorry I didn't explain it clearly to you earlier. The 100,000 Great Mountains are indeed dangerous, but only for those who go deep inside. In fact, staying on the outskirts is relatively safe. Most powerful monsters live deep within the mountains, while the outer areas mainly have low-level monsters. Their strength isn't a big threat to me. Lin Fan smiled confidently, fully trusting his own strength. And even if I face danger, I won't be completely helpless. Don't forget, I have my small world. In emergencies, I can always hide in my small world to stay safe, as long as he isn't instantly defeated. Lin Fan isn't worried about his safety. After hearing Lin Fan's explanation, Luo Iran and the others' faces relaxed a little. They had thought that all parts of the 100,000 Great Mountains were deadly, so they were very worried about Lin Fan's decision. Since the danger isn't that great, they naturally wouldn't stop him. Husband, no matter what, you must be careful and stay safe. Don't worry, I value my life more than anyone else. All right, let's stop talking about this. The children are being looked after by Li Han and the others. Let's keep going and have more. With the help of the Yuan Dan, Luo Iran, and the others' origins have fully recovered, and they can try to get pregnant again. A day in the main world is a few days in the small world, so there might not be enough time for pregnancy. But improving their talent is still easy. Now, Luo Iran and the others are just one step away from reaching the profound level lower grade. As Lin Fan expected, their talents all improved to the profound level lower grade. Not only that, but their talent improvements also boosted their cultivation levels. Now, they have all advanced to the late Yuan realm. Mu Shishue and Mu Shiyu were amazed when they saw the changes in the others. They were so shocked they couldn't speak. If they weren't worried about the two children in their stomachs, they would definitely pull Lin Fan into a room and not let him go. Yes, each of them is carrying two children. It just proves that, as twin sisters, they have the gene for twins. The next morning in the main world, after Lin Fan left the small world, he headed toward the city outside. Once he was sure no one was paying attention, he flew toward the Million Mountains. The city of Tin Wind is not far from the outskirts of the Million Mountains, about 100,000 kilometers away. Of course, this distance is very far for ordinary people. They could never walk there in a lifetime because the road is unsafe. Lin Fan flew for 5 hours and finally reached a city called Tianfeng City on the outskirts of the Million Mountains. Tianfeng City does not belong to any country. It was built by several powerful groups together. There are 5 main groups in the city. The City Lord's Mansion, led by the Zhang family, with Zhang Bao as the City Lord. He is at the late Purple Mansion stage, along with 3 elders at the early Purple Mansion stage. The Evil Wolf Mercenary Group, led by the Evil Wolf, who is at the middle Purple Mansion stage, with the vice leader, Fierce Wolf, at the early Purple Mansion stage. The Gao, Ning, and Fong families, each with 2 strong members at the early Purple Mansion stage. Additionally, the Treasure Pavilion and the 100 Flowers Tower are here, but they only do business. There are many such cities around the outskirts of the Million Mountains. Since the area stretches for billions of miles, many countries border the mountains. Unlike other places, outsiders wanting to enter Tianfeng City must pay a city entry fee of 1 yuan stone, and if they stay over a month, they must continue paying. However, outsiders who can reach here are not ordinary people, so 1 yuan stone is not a big deal. At the same time, fighting inside the city is not allowed. Otherwise, they face attack from the 5 major groups. This rule is a form of protection for most people. Many settle here to avoid enemies. Of course, if someone offends someone stronger than these 5 groups, that's a different matter. Even the 5 major groups wouldn't dare offend a force stronger than themselves. Lin Fan kept his strength at the peak of the Kaiyuan Mirror stage before heading toward the city gate. Everyone, come take a look. I found this treasure in a strong expert's cave. Don't miss out. Level 2 Beast, Sword Pig Cub, only 10 yuan stones each. Affordable and worth it. Don't miss this opportunity. As soon as he entered the city, he heard continuous shouts of selling and trading. The bustling scene was even more lively than the royal city of the Chu Kingdom where Lin Fan once lived. The rich resources of the Million Great Mountain are enough to support the prosperity here. Lin Fan planned to find a place to stay first, then explore Tianfeng City. Soon Lin Fan found a guest house. Welcome, guest. Would you like a quick snack or a room? Give me a room on the top floor. Certainly, sir. It costs 1 to 2 gold coins per night. Hearing the price, Lin Fan was a bit surprised. He didn't expect it to be so expensive. After all, it's just an ordinary guest house. But then again, everyone coming from outside is a martial artist, often above the yuan realm. This amount of money isn't a big deal for them. Lin Fan didn't say much and paid 10 taels of gold. He didn't pretend to be generous by giving a spirit stone because it wasn't necessary. Sir, please follow me. Soon, the attendant led Lin Fan to a top-floor room. If you need anything, just call me. Okay, you can go now. After the attendant left, Lin Fan set up a protective barrier and returned to his small world. Husband, have you reached the Million Great Mountain? I've arrived at a city on the outskirts, Tianfeng City. I'll stay here for now, and then go out to explore. Be careful. Husband, don't worry, I will. After having a meal with everyone in his small world, Lin Fan left it. Now in a strange place, it's not good to stay in the small world for too long. If someone finds out, it could be dangerous. He left the guest house. Although it was almost evening, many people still came and went outside. From time to time, he saw people rushing with seriously injured individuals to the medical hall for treatment. Such scenes are common here, and people are used to them. They also don't dare to guarantee that one day, they won't be the ones lying injured. Since the area is close to the Million Great Mountain, many go there to hunt monsters or find spiritual herbs. If they encounter a powerful monster, getting hurt or eaten is likely. Besides monsters, there are also threats from other martial artists, as there are quite a few bandits and robbers here. If someone is alone and targeted by a bandit, the outcome won't be good. This world is like this. Most people must risk their lives to get cultivation resources. One wrong step can lead to endless suffering. Let's go for a walk and see if I can find some good stuff. As Lin Fan walked, he stopped now and then, but didn't see anything worth noticing. Suddenly, he saw a group of people talking ahead. He decided to go see what was happening. When he got closer, he saw a very beautiful woman sitting there. In front of her was a sign that read, "Seeking a top-quality yellow-level detox pill. She is willing to risk her life to get it." Lin Fan was surprised when he saw this. The woman was at the peak of the opening Yuan realm, a very strong level. In Wanxiang City, she should be unbeatable. It didn't make sense that she couldn't afford a yellow-level top-quality detox pill. He didn't know much about the price of pills, but he guessed it wouldn't cost more than 5,000 yellow-grade spirit stones. He stayed calm and stood to the side, quietly, observing her. Then he started to learn about her. She was a lone cultivator, only 35 years old, yet she had already reached the peak of the opening Yuan realm. That was quite impressive. At this moment, someone gave Su Qingyuan a suggestion. "Miss, yellow-level top-quality detox pills are very rare. The Treasure Pavilion only supplies 3 each month, and all are bought in advance by the 5 major forces. If you urgently need a pill to save someone, you might want to check out those 5 forces." The person probably meant well and was just warning her. After speaking, he left. Su Qingyuan knew that these 5 forces had such pills. She had looked for them before, but unfortunately, they wouldn't give her any. Yellow-level top-quality pills are meant for warriors at the Qi-Si realm. Although the 5 major forces have Purple Palace realm experts, the Qi-Si realm is the backbone of these forces. All the Purple Palace realm experts are in seclusion, and the managers are the Qi-Si realm warriors. Her talent was good, but compared to the 5 major forces, she was still not enough. Every year, many people try to join the 5 forces, and a few top talents are accepted annually, but they wouldn't waste a yellow-level top-quality detox pill on her. Moreover, these pills can save lives at critical moments, and each family doesn't keep many in stock. It's important to remember that among the millions of mountains, there are many poisonous monsters. Every year, many people die from poison. The Treasure Pavilion only offers 3 pills each month, which is far from enough. Actually, the Treasure Pavilion is also having a hard time. They have branches in every city, but high-quality yellow-level alchemists are very rare. Even if they keep refining pills every day, it's not enough to supply all the cities. Tianfeng City is better because it's a big city, so they get 3 pills each month. In Wuxiang City, they don't even sell top-quality pills. Even the best pills are only available once a year at the auction. Most of the pills sold at Wuxiang City's Treasure Pavilion are mid to low quality. After hearing this, Lin Fan was quite surprised. He didn't expect yellow-level top-quality pills to be so rare. But it makes sense. In the Lin family of Chu State, there was only one yellow-level top-quality alchemist, and their success rate was low. Producing one successful batch of pills was already lucky. Even if they succeeded, they only made 2 or 3 pills at a time. It's not a loss, but they only break even. These pills are not enough for the Lin family's daily needs. Su Qingyuan saw that no one could produce antidote pills and looked disappointed. But she was only here as a last resort, so she didn't have high hopes. Everyone knows how rare yellow-level top-quality antidote pills are. Not only antidote pills, but other yellow-level top-quality pills are also scarce. If she doesn't get a yellow-level top-quality antidote pill, her sister will be in danger. They went to the Million Mountain to find cultivation resources and encountered a powerful, ink-scaled snake. Her sister was injured trying to save her. If they don't find a yellow-level top-quality antidote within 3 days, her sister will die. Fortunately, the snake was not an adult, only a second-tier beast. An adult ink-scaled snake is a third-tier beast, far beyond their ability to handle. Because the ink-scaled snake is a third-tier beast, they need a yellow-level top-quality antidote. If it were a common second-tier beast, a top-grade antidote would be enough. Seeing the crowd discussing but none able to produce an antidote, Su Qingyuan stood up feeling disappointed. She realized that wasting time here was pointless. It was better to go home and be with her sister. Without the antidote, her sister's time was running out. In the final moments, she had to stay close to her sister. Seeing Su Qingyuan's slightly trembling figure, Lin Fan followed her. Miss, may I speak with you privately? Who are you? Su Qingyuan looked at Lin Fan with some suspicion. You need a top-quality yellow-level antidote. I can help you. Are you telling the truth? Do you really have a top-quality antidote? Su Qingyuan's voice trembled a little. She had just given up hope, but now she saw a glimmer again. If Lin Fan really had it, her sister could be saved. They had depended on each other for many years, and she didn't want to lose her sister. Moreover, her sister was injured while saving her. Her sister's injury had caused her a lot of pain and worry. Miss, this isn't the place to talk, Lin Fan said. Standing on the busy street, Lin Fan didn't reveal that he was a pill master. If Su Qingyuan shouted out loud, his identity as a pill master would be exposed. Right now, he was only at the Qi stage, and being targeted by those from the Purple Palace realm wouldn't be good. Although being a pill master was prestigious, he had no powerful background. If he were captured and imprisoned, he might be forced to work as a pill-making slave. Once he reached the Purple Palace realm, he wouldn't have to worry about this. After all, forces with divine platform strength wouldn't bother with a yellow-level top-quality pill master. As for those forces in the Purple Palace realm, once he broke through, they probably wouldn't dare offend him unless it affected their interests. Su Qingyuan looked around at the busy passers-by and realized this wasn't the place to discuss such matters. She had been careless before. Even if others had a yellow-level top-quality antidote, they wouldn't dare to take it out in public. If they lacked strength, they would be targeted. It might be safe inside the city, but once outside, it would be dangerous. If the 5 major forces set their sights on her, she might not even be safe inside the city. The 5 major forces had many ways to secretly take people away, especially since this was their territory. Su Qingyuan thought for a moment and then softly said, "Young master, if you don't mind, you can come home with me." She wasn't worried that Lin Fan would harm her. The aura he released was similar to hers, both at the complete Yuan stage. Even if Lin Fan is slightly stronger than her, he cannot defeat her in a short time. Moreover, this is Tianfeng City, where fighting is not allowed. She doesn't believe Lin Fan would dare to attack her here. Also, the aura he emits makes her feel a desire to get closer. That's why she impulsively invited Lin Fan to her home. Although Lin Fan was a bit surprised, he didn't plan to refuse. He cupped his hands and smiled, saying, "Since the young lady invites me, I accept graciously." On the way, they didn't talk much. Lin Fan simply followed quietly behind Su Qingyuan. Soon, Su Qingyuan led Lin Fan to her sister's place. Their home was a small yard with a living room, 3 bedrooms, a wood storage, a kitchen, and a simple outdoor toilet. It wasn't very fancy, but in Tianfeng City, such a house would cost at least 1,000 spirit stones. It wasn't that the house was expensive, but it was like paying a protection fee of 1,000 stones. "Young master, please sit for a moment. I'll go see my sister." Okay. At this point, Lin Fan already knew that his antidote pill was needed for Su Qingyuan's sister. After a while, Su Qingyuan came out of her sister's room. "How is your sister? Her condition isn't good. She's unconscious now." Su Qingyuan's face was full of worry and concern. "Oh, young master, my name is Su Qingyuan. May I ask your name?" "My surname is Lin. My given name is Fan, which means ordinary." "Young master Lin, let's get to the point. Do you really have a top-quality antidote pill?" Su Qingyuan looked at Lin Fan with hope. "I don't have it right now." Hearing this, Su Qingyuan immediately looked disappointed. Could fate be playing another joke on her? "Miss Su, don't worry. I may not have it now, but I can make it." "What? Young master Lin, are you a pill master?" Su Qingyuan, who was disappointed, suddenly became excited. A pill master appearing before her was incredible. Lin Fan knew she would react this way. Fortunately, he hadn't revealed his identity on the street. If Su Qingyuan had shouted at that moment, there would be no way to hide it. "Miss Su, please don't get so excited. I am indeed a pill master, just making top-quality detox pills. As long as I have the ingredients, I can make them anytime." Lin Fan spoke confidently, and he truly had the ability. Any yellow-grade pill was easy for him to make. Seeing Lin Fan so confident, Su Qingyuan suddenly trusted him more. "Young master Lin, tell me what ingredients you need. I will go buy them right away. I swear, as long as young master Lin saves my sister, I will obey him completely from now on," he added. "Not just me, my sister too." Su Qingyuan was not stupid. As a pill master who could make top-quality yellow-grade pills, she knew she had to hold on to this opportunity. Not only her, but she also wanted to bring her sister along. Such a chance was something wandering cultivators like them could only dream of, but she had met it. She understood very well the influence a pill master could have. If the five great powers found out, they would definitely treat Lin Fan as a VIP. As for whether her sister would agree, of course she would. Even if she didn't want to, she would have to agree. After all, it was a life-saving matter, and offering herself wouldn't be too much. Lin Fan didn't expect to get a buy-one-get-one free deal. This was a really good bargain. But seeing how anxious Su Qingyuan was, Lin Fan had no choice but to tell her the ingredients he needed. To be safe, he also mentioned some unrelated herbs. That way, others wouldn't guess what he was planning to do with those ingredients. Although the treasure pavilion didn't have pills, they weren't short of herbs. Moreover, near the Million Mountains, herbs were abundant. In his small world, he had planted many herbs, but the variety was still limited. He couldn't gather all the ingredients for detox pills. He planned to visit the treasure pavilion in Tianfeng City sometime to buy some spiritual herb seeds and expand the variety of herbs in his small world. Oh, Miss Su, don't tell anyone that I can make pills. This must be kept secret. Don't worry, young Master Lin. I know what to do. Su Qingyuan was not foolish. The fewer people who knew about Lin Fan's ability, the better. After that, she hurriedly left. After about half an hour, Su Qingyuan hurried back. Without waiting for Lin Fan to speak, she handed him a storage bag. Young Master. Lin, all the herbs are here. I bought 3 sets. Do you think that's enough? Su Qingyuan's tone was a bit worried. Her spirit stones were limited, mostly used for cultivation. Why did you buy so much? Do you think you have a lot of spirit stones? Lin Fan looked at her with some amusement. Young Master Lin, making pills usually requires several sets of herbs. If I don't prepare enough, I might waste the effort and have to buy more. Hearing this, Lin Fan became a little annoyed. He couldn't help but think to himself, who do you think you're talking about? I won't waste the pills, but since Su Qingyuan was trying to be kind, he didn't say much. All right, find me a quiet place. I need to start the furnace and make the pills. Young Master Lin, please follow me. Su Qingyuan led Lin Fan into a room. Young Master Lin, our home is simple. Is this okay? Yes, as long as I'm not disturbed. For Lin Fan, it didn't matter where he made the pills. He had already mastered all the methods for making yellow-grade pills. As long as he wasn't interrupted, failure was impossible. Don't worry, young master. No one will bother us. By the way, can I watch from the side? Feel free to watch. If you wanted to learn how to make pills, just watching wasn't enough. Lin Fan wasn't worried about being copied. Moreover, Su Qingyuan was about to become one of his own. If she wanted to learn how to make pills, it would be a good opportunity. Seeing Lin Fan agree to let her stay and watch, Su Qingyuan was very excited. If Lin Fan hadn't said she couldn't disturb him, she would have jumped for joy. Lin Fan ignored the excited Su Qingyuan. He first took out the pill furnace and arranged the herbs. After everything was ready, Lin Fan's hand moved, and a blazing flame appeared. If the flame wasn't controlled by him, it could have burned down the entire house instantly. He threw the herbs in one by one, then had a little free time. Seeing Su Qingyuan staring intently at his alchemy, Lin Fan decided to chat with her, since it wouldn't interfere with his work. Miss Su, alchemy is a very boring task. Are you interested in learning it? Surprised that Lin Fan still had time to talk to her, Su Qingyuan wondered how he could be free when he had just said he couldn't be disturbed. But since Lin Fan asked, she couldn't ignore him. Young Master Lin, alchemists are highly respected. If I have the chance, I would love to learn. Plus, I think alchemists make a lot of money. I just bought 3 sets of herbs for only 6,000 stones. With these 3 sets, making just 2 pills could sell for at least 10,000 stones. That's huge profit with little risk. My sister and I risk our lives hunting monsters in the mountains to earn stones. Our combined yearly income is only about 6,000 stones. After buying the necessary pills for training, we might have around 1,000 stones left. Lin Fan wasn't surprised by Su Qingyuan's thoughts. As wandering cultivators, Su Qingyuan and her sister had no backing or resources for cultivation, so they had to work hard every day to gather resources. Hunting monsters brought in more money than wealthy families in Wanxiang City, but it was also more dangerous. For example, Su Qingyuan's sister was currently badly injured and near death. Some people prefer to establish power in small towns for safety, but that means fewer resources for training, which slows down their progress. Looking at the city lord of Wanxiang City, who is over 100 years old and only at the late stage of the Kaiyuan realm, shows how difficult it is to advance. With his wealth, he probably spends all his money on top-quality pills. Although he is the city lord, most of his income goes to the city, leaving him with little. This is very different from Su Qingyuan and her sister, who risk everything for their cultivation. Seeing that Su Qingyuan was genuinely interested in alchemy, Lin Fan had an idea. But first, he wanted her to understand how hard it is to become an alchemist. Miss Su, alchemists can indeed make a lot of money. Even low-level alchemists are quite valuable compared to others at the same level. Miss Su, have you ever thought that no one is born a master alchemist? Before becoming an alchemist, one must go through many failures, and the amount of spirit stones needed is huge. Besides the major powers investing resources to train their alchemists, it is very hard for wandering cultivators to become one. Unless they have exceptional talent, then they might succeed without wasting too many resources. But even with talent, inheritance is a big problem. Without an inheritance of alchemy skills, trying to learn on your own is almost impossible. Not only are the techniques important, but the formulas are also very crucial. So, the high price of medicinal pills is not without reason. Lin Fan's words made Su Qingyuan fall silent. As Lin Fan said, the initial investment to become an alchemist is very large. With their current status, they have no hope. If they put resources into alchemy, they wouldn't have enough to cultivate. Seeing Su Qingyuan's face full of disappointment, Lin Fan made a decision. Miss Su, if you're really interested in alchemy, I can teach you later. Su Qingyuan, who was feeling quite down, suddenly widened her eyes when she heard Lin Fan would teach her alchemy. Young Master Lin, is that true? You're willing to teach me alchemy? From now on, you'll be mine, so there's nothing wrong with teaching you. Hearing this, Su Qingyuan's face turned red. She couldn't help but wonder, what does it mean that from now on I'll be young Master Lin's? Does he like me? Should I agree? Maybe young Master Lin didn't mean it that way, or maybe I'm overthinking. After all, I will be his maid, and I am indeed his person. Moreover, young master Lin is a top-tier alchemist. Someone like me, a wandering cultivator, isn't worthy. Being his maid is the greatest blessing for me. But if young Master Lin is willing to teach me alchemy, and I become a top-tier alchemist, then maybe I'll be worthy of him. Thinking of this, Su Qingyuan's eyes became clear. Su Qingyuan, you can do it. At this moment, Su Qingyuan made up her mind to become an alchemist as soon as possible. Lin Fan gave her hope when she was most helpless. Now, Lin Fan even said he would teach her how to refine pills. This made Su Qingyuan's good feelings toward Lin Fan increase rapidly. At this moment, the medicinal liquid in the pill furnace still needed to be filtered to remove impurities. Lin Fan couldn't afford to be distracted, so he didn't notice Su Qingyuan's changing expression. An hour passed, and amidst Su Qingyuan's wandering thoughts, Lin Fan's pill was almost finished. Miss Su, bring the pill bottle here. Okay. Su Qingyuan hurriedly handed over the pill bottle without thinking much, and then removed the stopper. At the same time, her mood started to become excited. She knew Lin Fan had successfully refined the pill, which meant her sister was saved. But she dared not make a sound, afraid of disturbing Lin Fan. Rise, Lin Fan lightly shouted, and the lid of the pill furnace instantly floated up. Gather. As soon as he finished speaking, 10 milky white pills emitting a medicinal aroma flew out of the furnace. Under Lin Fan's control, they were then placed into the bottles. 10 pills. I can't believe it. 10 pills successfully refined, Su Qingyuan muttered, her face full of disbelief. Although she couldn't refine pills herself, she had heard some rumors about it and had a rough understanding. From what she knew, producing more than 5 pills was very rare, and 9 was the limit. So what did 10 pills mean? It completely overturned her understanding. Most importantly, it represented huge profit. A batch of medicinal herbs costing 2,000 stones, and each pill worth 5,000 stones. 10 pills total 50,000 stones. That's 25 times the profit, and these are highly sought after, so they wouldn't have trouble selling. With so many stones, how many monsters would they need to kill to exchange for them? This also made her determined to learn pill refining well from Lin Fan. All right, stop daydreaming here. The pills are ready. Take me to see your sister. Yes, young Master Lin. Please follow me. Now was not the time for such thoughts. Saving her sister was more important. Soon, the two arrived at Su Qingyuan's sister's room. On the bed lay a woman in a coma. Her lips had turned black, and her brows were often tightly furrowed. It is clear that, even while in a coma, the toxins caused her great pain. Young Master Lin, this is my sister. Her name is Su Qingyuan. Looking at her sister sleeping peacefully on the bed, Su Qingyuan's face was full of concern. At this moment, Lin Fan took the opportunity to check Su Qingyuan's information. Seeing that both sisters had top-grade spiritual talent, Lin Fan was a bit surprised. They are not twin sisters, and are somewhat different from the Mu family sisters. Being able to have the same talent level shows that their parents' genes are very strong, at least at this level. As for her age of 37, it is not much considering the 300-year lifespan of the Kaiyuan realm. So, Su Qingyuan looks about 20 years old now. Lin Fan didn't waste any more time. He took out a detoxification pill and gave it to Su Qingyuan. Then he took out a gourd filled with spiritual liquid from the small world. Lin Fan also fed her some of it to help her absorb the medicine. Better. All right, after taking the pill, your sister will wake up early tomorrow morning. Now it's late at night. If there's nothing else, I will go back to rest. When Lin Fan left earlier, it was already getting dark. He spent a lot of time buying medicine and refining pills, so now it's late at night. Young master, where is your home? I can send you there. Actually, besides seeing Lin Fan off, she also wanted to see where he lived. She was truly afraid that after Lin Fan left, he wouldn't appear in front of her again, and she would lose the greatest opportunity of her life. Since she decided to cling to Lin Fan, she couldn't miss this chance. Especially after seeing Lin Fan's pill refining skills just now, which proved how extraordinary he was. She was sure that becoming a top-grade alchemist was not Lin Fan's limit. Becoming a spiritual-grade alchemist was only a matter of time. Spiritual-grade alchemists hold a high status across the entire 100 Nations land. Even if she only served as a maid, it would be far better than her current life. Lin Fan didn't know what Su Qingyuan was thinking, but he had no intention of hiding it. He had just checked, and Su Qingyuan's favor towards him had already reached over 80. Although he didn't know why it increased so quickly, it was a good thing, and Lin Fan didn't dwell on it. Miss Su, my family is not here. I just arrived in Tianfeng City today, and am staying at an inn. Hearing that Lin Fan had just arrived in Tianfeng City, Su Qingyuan felt very relieved. If Lin Fan had come a day later, or if she hadn't gone out to seek pills, her sister would definitely have been in great danger. Since Lin Fan is staying at an inn, it would be more convenient for him to stay at her house. Young master, if you don't mind, you can stay here. We happen to have 3 rooms available. After saying this, Su Qingyuan looked at Lin Fan with some hope. She truly wished for him to stay. Lin Fan thought for a moment and nodded. All right, then I'll stay here for now. I hope I won't bother you all. Staying at the inn was inconvenient because there were too many people coming and going, which Lin Fan didn't like. Seeing that Lin Fan agreed to stay, Su Qingyuan was very happy. Young master, I'm happy you're staying. You won't be a bother at all. Please wait here for a moment. I'll go and prepare the rooms for you. With that, Su Qingyuan hurriedly left. Soon after, she appeared again, in front of Lin Fan. Young master, the rooms are ready. You can rest now. Good, I'll go rest then. Lin Fan went to his room, looked around, and felt it was quite nice, more comfortable than the inn. Then he set up a protective barrier and returned to his small world. There was no choice. Luo Iran and the others were eager to have a second child, so he couldn't just relax. After finishing the main tasks, Lin Fan told everyone about meeting the sisters from the Su family. Husband, based on what you said, we'll soon have 2 more sisters. That's good. It seems you need to go out more often. If you stay in Wanxiang City all the time, you won't meet anyone. Exactly. We just met 2 by chance. It's not so easy to have such luck in Wanxiang City. Everyone discussed eagerly. For the sake of the family's growth, they all hoped Lin Fan could find more sisters. To develop the family quickly, relying on just a few people wasn't enough. Even a small city's family with a spiritual sea realm has 100,000 people. Compared to the Lin family, they have a long way to go. Seeing everyone's talk, Lin Fan couldn't help but smile wryly. All right, I need to go out now. It's not convenient to stay in the small world all the time. Lin Fan stayed in the small world for nearly 2 days, and it was almost dawn in the main world. Then, husband, you go out first. With so many of us here, there's no need to worry about us. Back in the main world, Lin Fan found that it was not yet light outside, so he lay on the bed for a while. Meanwhile, Su Qingwan, who had been unconscious, slowly opened her eyes in a dazed state. She also noticed Su Qingyuan resting beside her bed. Last night, Su Qingyuan did not return to her own room, but stayed by her sister's side all night. Xiao Yuan, Su Qingyuan gently pushed Su Qingyuan with her hand. Su Qingyuan was instantly awakened. When she saw her sister was awake, she became very excited. Sister, you're finally awake. That's wonderful. Xiao Yuan, what happened? I should not have woken up. Why is the poison on my body gone now? Su Qingwan found it hard to believe she had woken up. She knew very well how deep her poison was. Without a top-quality antidote pill, she wouldn't have a chance to survive. But her family situation made it impossible to buy such antidote pills. Sister, it's like this. I met a powerful alchemist. Then, Su Qingyuan carefully explained how she met Lin Fan to Su Qingwan. After hearing her sister's story, Su Qingwan was stunned. What kind of luck did her sister have? She actually made friends with an alchemist who helped make an antidote pill. And now, that alchemist still lives in their house. This luck is just too incredible. As for Su Qingyuan's loyalty to Lin Fan, she had no objections and was even very happy. Such good fortune, others could only dream of. How could she refuse? At the same time, she also felt a strong positive impression of Lin Fan, whom she had never met before. Sister, don't worry. Young Master is very easy to get along with. He's different from the legendary alchemists. He's not aloof or proud. He chats with me very casually. Following young Master is definitely a great opportunity for us. Su Qingyuan was worried that Su Qingwan might oppose her decision, so she quickly spoke well of Lin Fan. Xiao Yuan, you don't need to worry. I have no objections to your choice. Moreover, I owe my life to him, so it's right to serve him in the future. Serving a powerful alchemist isn't a shame for her. It's an honor she's proud of. She knew her place well. Seeing that her sister had no objections, Su Qingyuan finally relaxed. If her sister had disagreed, she wouldn't know how to explain to Lin Fan. Xiao Yuan, thank you for all your hard work these days for my sake. Big sister, you don't need to say that. It's nothing to suffer a little. If it weren't for you, I'd be the one hurt. As they talked, the sky outside gradually brightened. Xiao Yuan, it's morning now. I can't move yet, so please prepare breakfast for our benefactor. At their level, going 10 or 15 days without eating was fine. They rarely ate normally. But Lin Fan was her benefactor, so she couldn't skip a meal. Okay, big sister. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. After half an hour of busy work, breakfast was almost ready. Su Qingyuan then took her toiletries and knocked on Lin Fan's door. Come in. Lin Fan's lazy voice responded. With a creak, Su Qingyuan pushed the door open and entered. Young master, breakfast is ready. I'll serve you while you wash up. At this moment, Su Qingyuan had fully become a maid. Miss Su, what are you doing? Lin Fan looked a bit surprised. Young master, I told you before, if you save my sister, I will serve you for life. That includes my sister too. Now that my sister is awake, I must keep my promise. From now on, I am your maid. My sister is still injured and not feeling well, so she's a bit inconvenient. After speaking, Su Qingyuan looked at Lin Fan with anticipation. Lin Fan had indeed agreed yesterday, but he hadn't officially accepted her yet. Whether her sister could truly stay with Lin Fan depended on his current decision. All right, since you've made your decision, I won't say much more. From now on, you and your sister will stay with me. In the early days of the family's development, Lin Fan was not picky. As long as someone met his aesthetic standards, he would keep them. Once they became stronger, he would raise his standards for talent. Besides, having a talent of the mysterious rank is already quite good in the land of 100 kingdoms. Thank you, young master, for taking us in. At this moment, Su Qingyuan finally relaxed and let go of her worries. Next, with Su Qingyuan's help, Lin Fan finished his breakfast. The breakfast was simple, a bowl of porridge made from mid-grade spiritual rice, paired with some beast meat. It tasted quite good. Mid and lower-grade spiritual rice are the most common on the market, and they can be bought with gold. High-grade rice is rare and not always available. 1 spirit stone can buy 10 jing. Top-grade rice is rarely seen in the market. Although it's priced at 1 spirit stone per jing, it doesn't usually enter the market. At least, in the land of 100 kingdoms, it's not available. Lin Fan isn't sure about the Tianxian continent, but it's likely available there, since the land of 100 kingdoms is much poorer compared to the Tianxian continent. Qingyuan, take me to see your sister. Since Su Qinglian has woken up, Lin Fan naturally wants to visit her. Young master, please follow me. Soon, the two of them arrived at Su Qinglian's room. Greetings, benefactor. Sorry, Qinglian is injured and cannot bow properly. I hope you won't mind. When Su Qinglian saw Lin Fan come in, she was the first to greet him.